Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I know you had a very great networking session. Did you get to speak to somebody of your area? Did you get to speak to somebody who you share the same dreams or career objectives? So just let us know in the comment section. How was the networking section? I'm sure for most of us, this is the first time we're doing a virtual networking session. And guess what? This is brought to you by the Women Enterprise Alliance. This is the WenA e-conference 2020. I am excited about it. So like I mentioned, we can continue our conversation on social media. People in the whole world to get to talk about us. Let's get people talking. So make sure in your comments, in your quotations, in your everything, you do the hashtag WenA360Woman, hashtag WenApreneur, hashtag partner. This is very critical. This is very important. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back. This is the second, this is the main, the session one, sorry. This is session one for our conference, and we will be looking at managing mental health and stress. Now, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, WHO, the World Health Organization, the impact of stress. According to them, there's a global estimate of 264 million people that suffer from stress-related problems. Now, these ones, guess what, also have significant economic impact, an estimated cost to the global economy at 1 trillion per year lost in productivity. 1 trillion per year. Now, when you divide 1 trillion per year, let's look at the loss when it comes to our individual contribution to that. 1 trillion per year divided by the 7 to 8 billion people in the world comes at $128 per head, you and I. That is our loss in productivity every year due to depression and anxiety. And I think that for entrepreneurs, even though we are resilient, even though we are agile when it comes to our mindset, it is also important to understand how to manage mental health and stress. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have two distinguished personalities to manage this session for us and discuss how we can manage mental health and stress. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the Chi Girl. She's popularly known as the Chi Girl. Ladies and gentlemen, she's Chioma Omeruah. And Chioma is a multi-talented and award-winning Nigerian actress. She's a singer. She is a comedian, actually. And somebody might be asking, why do you need a comedian to talk about this? Guess what? You all do know that laughter is good for your health. Laughter relaxes the whole body. Laughter boosts your immune system. Laughter has a way to protect your heart. Scientists will say that it releases some special hormone chemicals called endorphins, which helps in pain. Laughter will burn calories. Laughter will make you live longer and forever. And you remember that our keynote speaker did mention about maintaining a positive mindset. Who is very passionate about people, who is very passionate about what she does, has perfected the skill of keeping guests laughing and entertained, yet alert and attentive through and through. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition to Chioma for this particular session, will be a life coach. Why do we need a mind coach in managing mental health and stress? It's very simple, to give you the absolute direction, to guide you, to lead you to where you intend to be, especially during these times. And we don't not have perfect panelists to talk about this than to have Chioma and Mr. Lanre Olusola. Mr. Lanre Olusola actually is a chief catalyst at the Olusola Lanre Coaching Academy. He is a mind, emotions, and a behavioral change coaching academy, working with individuals and organizations to transform the minds of many people to make great impact. He is actually renowned for pioneering the life coaching industry in Nigeria and creating the first whole integrated coaching academy in West Africa. He serves as the executive director at Ebony Live Television, and he is the board of trustee member, ladies and gentlemen, at the International Coach Federation Nigeria, as well as the founder of Life Coaches Association of Nigeria. So we have two distinguished personalities to take us through managing stress and, ladies and gentlemen, health-related issues. At this point in time, please, let's show some love to Chioma and Mr. Lanre Olusola.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for the introduction, Kwesi.
You're welcome. Good to see you, Lanre.
Awesome. It's great to be here. It's great to be amongst, the women that are forward thinking, that have foresight, and are really thinking about the most critical, potent issue right now, which is mental health and stress. So I'm really excited to be here today, and I cannot wait, to get into the meat of, what we're going to be talking about today.
All right. So thank you very much. You just had Lanre there. Please make sure you get your notepads, get your pens, because you're really going to learn a lot. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the WenA e-conference 2020 and brought to you by Women Enterprise Alliance, and Lanre and Chioma will take us through managing mental health and stress. For Chioma to join us briefly. Don't worry, it's as a result of technical issues. Lanre, I just quickly want to find out from you. I mean, so far you had the keynote speaker. How has it been for you?
I mean, it's been phenomenal. You would really hear from, Mrs. Mosunbelo Olusoga's presentation that, she's widely read. It is very, very important. She's very knowledgeable. And she's very wise. And, those are very, very critical success factors. If you do not read, if you do not have knowledge, you'll be lagging behind. In fact, I say to people, money comes into your pocket based on what you know, and money leaves you based on what you don't know. So ignorance saps you of money and energy. Knowledge brings money into your pocket and brings energy into your system. So it's very, very important for you to be widely read. It is very important for you to be knowledgeable. And of course, she's spoken about the use of technology, always doing a SWOT analysis, knowing what you're good at, learning to fail forward. I say to people that failure is the gateway to success. You can never succeed in anything if you haven't failed. So you have to learn, to forward fail. And that forward failing, the more you succeed, and most importantly, be grateful for breath and life. And COVID-19 is really, really a season where, for each day that you're alive, you have to be thankful and grateful. So there are many lessons that I learned from her. I was taking notes, and also from you, Kwesi. You rolled out some critical, statistics. 264 million people globally are suffering from stress, and then we expend about $1 trillion, per annum, loss of productivity because of stress. And of course, Chioma is right here, and comedy, making people laugh, is one of the most profound professions and interventions in the 21st century. I say that comedians are as good as medical doctors because laughter is medicine. Let me repeat that. Laughter is medicine. When your heart is happy, wow, you can never have a broken spirit. So Chioma, welcome. And, I can't wait to hear you lead the conversation, and I will just follow you.
Okay.
All right. So I'll take leave. Chioma is here.
Are you going? Are you going? Okay. I don't know how many people are watching, but what's up? Hello, everyone. My name is Chioma Omeruah, also known as Chigol. For those of you who don't know, Chioma is my name on my passport. Chigol is the name on my checks that come in. So it's a different. I'm just so happy to be here, so happy to be part of this conference, so happy to be part of this gathering of people, and just to talk about, stress and how we can stay away from it and things like that. It's been a very trying period, and it's been a very trying period. It's been trying. When I say trying, I don't mean just because of maybe the fear of the virus itself and what it's doing, but just even economically, financially for some of us. When I tell people, I was like, I haven't worked since March. And for those of us who live our lives, we live our lives doing events. We live our lives in weddings. We live our lives doing conferences. We live our lives doing end of year parties. We live our lives just interacting with people. That's how we make our money. That's how we make our living. And it has been one of the most trying times financially that I have ever had to experience. But at the same time, I must say that, people say that, in every dark cloud there's a silver lining. I think this has been also the most intense learning period of my life. I've had to figure out about tapping into other aspects of the brand as Chi Girl and Chioma. I've had to figure out figure out what are the things that I can do and that I would like to do to occupy my time. It's literally been, and just like Lanre said, I consider myself an essential worker because just having to wake up every day and try to figure out, what can I do now that will bring joy to the people who are looking up to us for joy, because that's what we do. We are joy merchants. We peddle in laughter and just good feeling and good vibes, and it's been also for me. I think my stress levels have been sort of also here, there, and everywhere. But the job that I do keeps my stress levels down. I think that just thinking happy thoughts and sort of trying to figure out what to do for, as I can say, you people are the consumers, what to say for those of you out there and what to do. How do I make them laugh? How do I, and I keep my mind occupied because I now have to figure out what to do, what not to do, what post to post, what not to post, and trying to not just make people laugh, but also inspire people to sort of hang in there, because this is the time we need to hang in there. Some of us have no option but to hang in there. But while you're trying to hang in there, things are happening around you, things that you don't know about. The unknowns are plenty, and we're having to face all of those things. And it can be very trying and very stressful. And you're also trying to, at the same time, I'm trying to take care of my household and trying to be the mama of things and take care of parents and take care of mother and take care of everybody else around you and do all those things in this crazy time. So it's been really crazy. It's been really, really crazy, but I try to find my silver lining in every single cloud, and this one is not exempt from that. So it's what we're just doing, literally just day by day, just literally doing it day by day. So I'm, I think one of the things about being on such or in such a group of people is, we realize the fact that we need the help and the assistance to go further. And that's why we're here, to help in any way that we can. I want to be an inspiration to people. And I look forward to, after this period, I try to look for post-COVID times and what we're going to do. So I'm using my time as best as I can. I'm exploring new aspects of myself. I've become the DIY queen of life. I do my own hair, my nails, my clothes, and I have so small sewing machine, and I just use small material to just join stuff together. Same, I can sew. Hello, there's nothing YouTube will not teach you. So because I need all these services, and so I'm learning to do things for myself. I'm learning to become more independent, and managing to love Zoom and WhatsApp calls so we can stay in touch with our families and people we love, and sometimes I'm a people person, so I've always sort of been about people. I love to hug, and I'm the hugger, I'm the toucher, I'm the hey, and I can't do any of that now. We can only do elbow, hello, or we shake from afar, or we hail. So it really is a time that has affected me immensely in just my way. But once again, we have to cope because we have to cope, and we don't have a choice. Giving up is not an option for me, and giving up is not an option for any of you. It's not going to, I won't allow it to be an option for you. I will not allow it. We are not going to give up. We are going to stand our ground, until this thing is over. Even people say, hey, you mean what is hot will be cold. So as it started, it will pass. You understand? But we just have to hold on like weights. Not even holding up. No, you have to dig your nail inside this thing and hold on so that you don't fall, by the wayside. So that's again, I think this is part of why we get together and why we have these kind of conferences where we can talk about these things, because sometimes people also might be feeling these things and don't know how to express themselves. Some of us are very private and we're very inside, so we keep things to ourselves, and a lot of times keeping things inside is not the way to go. we have to figure out a way to express ourselves. You have to let it out. I feel like stress is something that has to be let out. It's a secret that has to be told. You gotta free yourself of all the things that are burdening you. Yes, like, and if you find yourself trying to figure out, oh, I like to do something, do it. I'm learning. I mean, I speak 5 languages now. I picked up Mandarin again. I started my Portuguese and, Italian, brushing up on that as well and everything else. So I use my time and I just try to make sure that every single hour of my day is pretty much accounted for, including when I'm sleeping. Sleep is also good, it's necessary, because it's that time for people like us who are creatives. So when we lie down, the vision of what we're supposed to do next will come to us. So I like to sort of, use my time in that way and make sure that every minute of every time is accounted for. So that's literally, what I've been doing with myself in this period. And I think it is, I'm so happy to see just different kinds of people from different walks of life and different life experiences coming together to sort of talk about these things. Like I said before, a lot of issues we have is because we don't talk, we don't share, we don't exchange in experiences and ideas, and especially now where we need each other more than ever before. I think this is a time that's teaching me how there really isn't much of a difference between me and the next person. So we need each other, and we need to realize that we do need each other to survive. We do, and that's why I always spread the word of just sort of like being kind and being positive and staying positive. And if you're going to interact, let it be good stuff. Use words that heal, not words that hurt. Use all the things to just be positive, especially in this somewhat seemingly totally negative time. So, I don't despair. I'm going to be positive because I know that, yes, right now for me, maybe market is a bit dry, but I do believe that once this is over, I'm going to be a bigger and better Chigo. I'm going to be a stronger and more resilient Chigo. I'm going to be a funnier, more diverse with my brand, Chigo. And I think that's what I'm looking forward to showing the sides of me that I sort of like was forming while I'm in this hibernation period. That's what I'll call it. It's like being in an incubator, and I can say that God has allowed that this happened to us at this time. So I will use the time wisely, meaning I will create. I will maybe you even reach out. I'll be more personable. I'll think out deeper. I'll be more introspective. So because I want to be able to look at what's next. I want to focus, and that's my focus. What is next? Not right now. I'm not even thinking about a new normal. It's what's next. And I have to focus and believe that what's next is better than what is right now and what has been. And we'll come out on the other side. I do honestly, sincerely believe that we're going to come out on the other side victorious, because this is a battle that we're in right now, believe it or not. We're battling with our monies, we're battling economically, we're battling financially, we're battling mentally, we're battling emotionally. And I believe that we'll come out of this victorious, and we'll have stories to tell about our victory and how we got there. So this is where we are. So, if you're like me, yeah, thinking, some of you might think, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. Try it. You don't know. Google it. It's on Google. Everything's on Google. Google is my friend. Google is your friend. Google has taught me how to do everything. Did I just say Google? I'm sorry. Google. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah. In the Oyibo is Google, but I say Google because it just comes up like that. So I Google everything. So I'm learning new things. By the time I come out of here, I will be a hairdressing, nail doing, cloth sewing, singing, comedian, MC / language teacher. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing it. I'm gonna be doing it heavily. So I'm looking forward to after. And just being able to be here with the catalyst himself. Lanre helps us keep it okay in here, because I think if people can be inside my brain, they'll be like, wow, it's so catastrophic. Well, people like Lanre help us keep it together in here so that we can give you what we have inside. So this is literally it for me, and and I'm just happy to be here. So I don't know if you guys have any questions for me with regards to maybe how I handle some things that I handle, maybe the stresses that I have. If you have any question, you can ask me sometimes. Oh, that's another thing, guys. I don't know how many of you are like doing like voices. Oh, I have 13 characters that I created, right? So like all 13 are like in my head, right? So every now and then, just to make you feel like I'm talking to many people because I don't have anybody in my house, I just talk to myself in those voices. So should I be saying this to y'all? I mean, I think Lanre can vouch that I'm not crazy. We're just diverse. So like I do that. I have a lot of things going on, in my head. So just in case, if you have voices that you want to help and make characters, I can also help you with that. So I have 13 and we can just put them all together and have like a party by ourselves. Yeah. So I'm so glad and oh, Chrissy, you're back. Welcome.
Thank you. Chioma, how many language characters do you mention?
I speak 5.
Wow. I mean, most of us are back. I mean, just on the chat box saying, wow, excited, such a positive personality. I know people have a lot of questions for you, but hold on. Yeah. Continue with Lanre, so the Lanre would also continue with managing mental health and stress. Ladies, just have, and she's such a wonderful personality. Chioma, I personally want to know how you manage this thing every day. You keep up, but I'll ask those questions after Lanre's presentation.
Okay. For sure.
I'll see once Lanre is done. Ladies and gentlemen, we just heard from Chioma Omeruah the need to build that mental agility. At this point in time, we are about to speak to the catalyst. You know who a catalyst is? Those of you who did science, when you talk about catalyst, people who propel people to move to the next level. This man will move you to the next level. He will just move you to the next level. He's a mind coach. It needs no introduction, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Lanre.
All right, thank you very much, Kwesi. That was phenomenal from Chi Girl. 13 voices, 13 alter egos, 13 creatives within her, and 5 languages. So Chi Girl is what? We're talking 13 voices, 13 alter egos, 13 creatives, 13 times 13 times 13. Or is it 13 plus 13 plus 13 plus 5? Wow, that's 39 plus 5. Chi Girl is 44 people in one. They say Okurimeta, we think that we men are, we're tough. They say 3 men in one. Chi Girl is 44 person in one. Wow. Wow. So, I'm just going to be sharing some slides with us. And, I'm just going to quickly run through some of the things that I want to talk about. I want to talk about how you can overcome panic, stress, anxiety, worry, fear in this very, very, very serious time that we're in. And I've got the better part of 15 minutes to just run through. Everywhere you turn, you hear death, desolation, desperation, pandemic, COVID-19. It seems like we're fighting an enemy that nobody seems to have an understanding about and nobody seems to have an answer to. It's like we have an invisible enemy, and in that invisible enemy, right, no one can stop him. And so a lot of people are feeling overwhelmed, discouraged, worried, disappointed. They're feeling emotionally numbed, unworthy, highly irritated. Some of us are feeling angry. Some panic, some are sad, unhappy, depressed, anxious. Many people are feeling powerless. Many people are afraid and resentful. They're feeling despondent. They're feeling despair. And how do you begin to manage all of these emotions? So if you feel any of these emotions, in the chat box, just send to me that I feel 5 of these emotions. In the last 3 months, I felt 10 of these emotions. Just send me that message in the chat box. Have you felt overwhelmed, worried, discouraged, disappointed, unworthy, emotionally numb, highly irritated, angry, despondent, depressed, anxious, afraid, resentful? And if you've got more emotions, just let's know the numbers of emotions that you felt within the last 3 to 5 months. Now, McKinsey and Company did a research between the 27th and the 29th of March, and they realized that between 35 to 42% of people were both anxious and depressed. Now, this research was based on the effect of COVID-19 on people. And so they realized that between 35 to 42% of people were both anxious and depressed. They realized that 23% of people were only anxious, but they were not depressed. And 26% were depressed, but they were not anxious. They did another research and realized that 27 to 34% of people had high stress. They realized that 53% of people had moderate stress, and they realized that between 13 to 20% of people had minimal to no stress. Now, something else was really interesting with their research. They realized that 1 out of 4 reported binge drinking at least once in the last, every week in the last 5 months. They also realized that 1 out of 5 reported taking prescription drugs for non-medical reasons, and 1 out of 7 reported using some substance and were dependent on a substance, either alcohol, drugs, or other substances. Where do you think you fall into? Have you been depressed and anxious in the last 5 months? Have you been anxious? Have you been just depressed? Have you had high stress? Have you had moderate stress or minimal stress? Have you, resorted to drinking? Have you resorted to taking prescription drugs? Or are you taking an illicit drug? The WHO declared a while ago that depression will be the world's second killer by 2020. So as we speak now, depression and emotion is the world's second deadliest killer. And they've predicted that by the year 2030, depression will be the world's #1 killer. Not the kinds of disease that we think, an emotion, because depression is an emotion. It will be the world's #1 killer and source of disability by the year 2030. As we speak now, depression is the world's second deadliest killer and source of disability. And what are the symptoms of depression? #1, you must have persistent and intense feelings of helplessness, sadness, emptiness, hopelessness, uncontrollable crying, anxiety, panic attacks, low self-esteem, lack of self-worth, lack of energy, sleeping disorders, eating disorders, unexplained physical and emotional aches and pains, extreme withdrawal syndromes, loneliness, feelings of guilt, restlessness, irritation, anger, emotional instability, loss of interest in the things you used to be passionate about, fixation on the past or things that have gone wrong, debilitating fatigue, weight gain and weight loss, difficulty concentrating, and compelling, recurrent, limiting beliefs and thoughts about suicide. Now, the interesting thing about depression is that you must have felt at least 70% of these symptoms consistently for 4 weeks for us to say that you are depressed. So if you felt some of these periodically and at other times, but it's not been consistent over 4 weeks, then we can't say that you're depressed. We will say that you're unhappy. We will say that you are sad, because depression is a medical condition, is a mental health issue. So many people use the word depressed loosely. Now you know that if you haven't had 70% of these symptoms consistently for 3 to 4 weeks, then we cannot say that you are depressed. Many people in this season have felt anxious. They've been worried. They've been afraid. Now, what happens with fear, anxiety, and worry is that it generates about 30 known neurotransmitters, or what we call hormones. But 2 of the deadliest of those hormones are adrenaline and cortisol. Now, the dangerous thing with too much cortisol in your system is the first thing that it will do will decrease your metabolism. It will increase your propensity to develop depression. It will increase your propensity for high blood pressure, hypertension, coronary artery diseases. It leads to chronic fatigue, sleep deprivation, migraines, memory loss, acid reflux disease, hostility, irritation, anger, diabetes, bone loss because of the depletion of, potassium, magnesium, and calcium in your body. It leads to arthritis, and most importantly, it decreases your immune system. Now, it is important for us to hold on to that part, decreases your immune system. Now, what are the symptoms of anxiety? Lump in your throat, palpitation, dizziness, muscle tension, nausea, racing heart, headaches, cold chills, chronic fatigue, bloating, body pain, difficulty breathing, restless legs, and a lot of those things, hot flashes. And so many of us in the last 5 months have had several of these symptoms. And a lot of us have thought that, I have COVID-19. Now, if you look at these symptoms, you will find out that they mirror COVID-19 symptoms. So many people are going through anxiety, and anxiety is real. Now, if you have both anxiety and depression, what usually happens is if you now have a medical condition, the cost of treating or managing that medical condition can double and triple. Let me take that again. If you don't have anxiety and depression, and you had a medical condition like high blood pressure or diabetes, and it costs us doctors $40,000 every year to manage your health condition. Yeah. If you had diabetes, if you had depression, and if you had anxiety, right, it would take at least, 100% more or 200% more, to manage your health issues. And so my call to you today is don't further complicate your life by bringing on anxiety and bringing on depression into your life, because there are several long-term effects, medical, biological effects of anxiety, fear, and worry in your life. Coronary artery diseases, mitral valve prolapses, panic attacks, irritable bowel syndrome, sweaty hands, over sweating, strong body odor, to just mention just a few. The World Health Organization agrees that 80 to 90% of healthcare challenges are preventable and account for approximately 90% of healthcare costs on you as an individual, on your organization, and as a nation. And 95% of them are stress related. So what are we saying? We're saying that 80 to 90% of disease, right, are preventable, and 95% of them are stress related. Stress, that's right, stress is at the heart of 80 to 90% of disease. In fact, Dr. Bruce Lipton, a cellular biologist, has predicted many years ago that 95% of disease is caused by stress, and 100% of stress is caused by wrong beliefs. Wrong beliefs are the result of lack of emotional intelligence. Wrong beliefs are the results of your thoughts. Wrong beliefs are the results of the information that you see, information that you hear, information you read, and the things that you recall in your memory. And so, if you want to manage your life, if you want to manage your life's outcomes and your life's experiences, you have to first of all manage your biology. Your biology responds to your psychology, and your psychology responds to your sociology. So based on your environment and the things you take in your sociology, it affects your psychology, and your psychology influences your biology. And ultimately, your biology, your emotions influence your decisions influence your actions, and your actions produce your outcomes. So we're talking about post-COVID. What do you need to do? You have to master your emotions, and you cannot afford to be a slave to your emotions. You have to build faith, and you cannot afford to live with fear. I don't want to go into the faith-fear coin, construct, but I want to talk to you about COVID-19 and death. Now, 57 million people, according to data, die every year, which gives us approximately 4.8 million people every month. This has happened since 2017, right? 18 million people die from cardiovascular diseases. 10 million people die from cancer. 4 million people die from respiratory diseases. 2.56 million people die from lower respiratory diseases. 600,000 people die from malaria. 800,000 people commit suicide every year. Let's bring it home to COVID-19. 4.75 million die monthly just from different diseases, accidents, high blood pressure, different diseases. But let's bring it home to COVID-19. 9.4 million people have been tested. 5 million people have recovered. 482,000 people have died. Now, this is in 5 months. Let's do an aggregate, exponential calculation. If 4.5 million people die monthly times 5 months, that's about 22 million averagely. 22 million people have died in the last 5 months. COVID has killed only 482 people. Now, do you know that 95 to 97% of people, right, survive COVID-19? Let me take that again. 95 to 97% of people, they survive COVID-19. Guess how they survive? Their immune system. So note that anxiety brings down your immune system. Depression brings down your immune system. So your mental and emotional health is very, very key. Your mental and emotional resilience is very, very key. Your mental and emotional immunity is very, very key to your biological and physical immunity. Now, if you turn to CNN, if you turn everywhere, you get a sense that more people are dying. But guess what? There's about 7.5 billion people on Earth. If COVID has killed only 482,000 people, then the person that is watching this seminar, listening to me, you stand a chance to, overcome COVID-19. But you have to be responsible. You have to wear your face mask. Don't touch your face. You have to wash your hands. You have to use 70% alcohol-based hand sanitizers, observe social distancing, and the entire protocol that the experts have told us to follow. You have a higher chance of staying alive than dying if you take personal responsibility, one, socially and physically, and two, emotionally and psychologically. And so this is very, very important data. A lot of people are hearing that COVID-19 is killing us, COVID-19 is killing us, COVID-19 is killing us. Guess what? 482,000 people have died from COVID-19, which means that other things are killing other people. And people will die because people have to be born. That's the natural system of, the ecosystem. 140 million people are born every year and 57 million people die every year. If we bring this data back to Nigeria, you'll begin to find out that we've only had 533 deaths and they've tested hundreds of thousands of cases. So what am I saying? I'm saying it's time for a reawakening, psychological reawakening, emotional reawakening, and physical reawakening. And what do you want to reawaken? I'm just going to run us through. It's time for you to reinvent yourself. Reinvent yourself psychologically, reinvent yourself emotionally, reinvent yourself physically and socially, because Charles Darwin says that it's not the strongest of species that will survive. It is not the most intelligent of them that will survive. It's the most responsive to change. You cannot afford to be rigid. You've got to be dynamic. You've got to be flexible. You've got to be responsive in your thinking and in your behavior if you want to beat COVID-19. Also, it's important for you to note that Albert Einstein says that we cannot solve a problem with the same thinking that we used when we created it. And an unexamined life is not worth living. So it's time for you to look at your life. It's time for you to examine your life. It's time for you to begin to think at a higher level and for you to begin to problem solve at a higher level. So let me wrap up by sharing this, diagram with us. You cannot afford to stay at the level of survival. You've got to switch up. If you look to the right of the diagram, you would see an S8 model, right? These are the 8 levels of existence. On the left is what God, the levels that God expects us to be operating and living at. In the middle is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the levels that we actually live at. And if you measure all 3, you will find out that there's a correlation between all 3. Many people, as we speak today, they're operating at the level of survival. All they want to do is to stay alive. They want to stay safe. They want to keep stability, status quo, and they want to secure their property and their lives. And many people are going through cycles of survival, safety, stability, and security. You have to step out of that dynamic. You have to move to self-worth. You have to build your substance. You have to become successful, and you have to be significant. That is, you cannot afford to only be fruitful. You have to multiply, you have to replenish, you have to subdue and take dominion. And that's why you cannot afford to only live and meet your biological and physiological needs, your basic needs. You've got to step up to your safety needs. You've got to step up to your belongingness and love needs, your esteem needs, your cognitive needs, your aesthetic needs, and your self-actualization and transcendency needs. I want to hang on to self-actualization and transcendency, just like success and significance, just like subduing and taking dominion. You've got to discover the problem that you are here to solve. Our keynote speaker, when they asked her a question about how do you ensure that your business survives, she says, solve problems. The reason why you are here is because you are a solution to a problem. The reason why you are still alive is that the problem that you're here to solve is still here. So life validates your purpose and the existence of your purpose, and death announces the end of that purpose. For the fact that you're still alive today, your purpose is still relevant. And COVID-19 is a time when you need to pause, you need to stop, and you need to ask yourself some pertinent questions. Who am I? And who am I not? What am I? And what am I not? And most importantly, what problem am I here to solve? And who has the problem that I'm a solution to? And where are they? And how best can I solve their problems? If you want to find fulfillment, satisfaction, happiness, joy, peace, and prosperity in life, you've got to find the problem that you're here to solve. You've got to become that solution that you were created to be. And as you consistently solve that problem, you will find fulfillment in life. You will find satisfaction in life. You will find happiness in life. You will find joy in your life. You find prosperity and peace in your life. And beyond that, if you go a step further and you help other people actualize their dreams, you will be living a transcendent life, and you will be meeting the highest of all human needs. So I would stop there, and I will, wait for a facilitator to come back up and Chi Girl to come back up, and then we can take some questions that you have.
Well, thank you very much, Lanre. That was very, very deep. I mean, I had to actually take some time to process most of the things, make sure that my memory was working as fast, working at its maximum capacity to process most of the information you and Chioma just released over there. Thank you so much. I believe that most people also appreciate what the two of you have shared. There are a couple of questions coming in, and I'll direct them one after the other. So there are a couple of things I learned. One from Chioma. Chioma mentioned that use words that heal. I am going to be better and stronger post-COVID. And these are very important words that will should resonate in the minds of every participant here. Lanre mentioned that biology responds to your psychology, and your psychology influences your sociology. It's time to reinvent yourself. You need to also be responsible to your behavior. So let me ask this question. We'll go first to Chioma. Chioma, how are you able to learn 5 different languages and sustain positive consistently?
Okay, so I studied French education in school. When I went to school to study criminal justice, that's what my father had in mind, right? So after I spent a couple of years failing, I tell people I failed so much that I was failure's mentor. Like failure came to me, I'm like, how can I be like you? Because man, your failure is top notch. I changed my major, and then I started doing French education, and I just found I was doing good in languages. And that led to, I taught myself Spanish for 1 year, just because I wanted to. I was taking high school in the US, and I had Spanish-speaking students, and I just thought, oh, it would be good to be able to converse with them. And I just started teaching myself, and then there we go. And then I've been speaking Hausa for a while, so I speak Hausa, I speak Igbo. And then at a certain point, I started learning Fulani Arabic, Swahili, Italian, teaching myself Mandarin. I've always loved Indian film. So in my mind, Tunisia was high. So I started teaching myself Hindi. So it's just something I find is gift-wise. It's not something it doesn't take me much. It's just sort of it's literally something I can sit down for an hour a day in front of my computer, and that's literally what I did with Spanish, and that's what I'm doing now with my Mandarin, with Portuguese, so that's what I'm doing now. So I'm learning some fresh ones now, like Portuguese and stuff.
Okay.
Hey.
Anyway, Chioma, so my next question, I asked 2 questions in one. How are you able to learn 5 languages? Now, the follow-up is, how are you able to sustain your positive energy through and through?
I think one of the things, and I'm sure Larry will probably back me up on this, I think you have to make a conscious decision. Every single thing that I've done in my life, I've tried to be as intentional as I can about it, including my choice to be upbeat or not. we all have our downtime. We all have times where we don't feel, even as comedians, people think because we're comedians, we are laughing 24/7. No, we have our own issues as well. And there are days when I don't feel like doing this, but this also, and Lanre talked about it, like my purpose, I feel like the reason why God created me and put me on this earth is to bring joy to people. That's why I was created. If you ask me that, that's why I think I was put here, to bring joy to people in whatever way. And so I make a conscious decision when I wake up in the morning, and I try to keep my mind, that's another thing, keep my mind guarded from things that would affect my thought process. Because I know that my imagination can fly all over the place. And that's the thing about being creative. You're thinking one thing or the other. So I don't absorb everything that comes my way. So I don't see every broadcast. I don't listen to every voice note. I try to keep my mind guarded because I need my mind to be focused on things that are positive. In order for that to happen, I can't have the weeds of negativity and news and bad gist and all negative vibes coming into my garden of goodness. So I need my garden to stay positive because that is where I am feeding people off of. So I need my people to grow in my brain and my garden of goodness. So I keep negativity away, literally. I make a conscious decision.
So you need to develop a conscious effort. You need to be intentional.
You need to be intentional.
Wow, well noted. Now, Lanre, this question is to you. That was a great presentation about building a resilient mindset and preparing yourself very well. I want to know, how important is a support system at the workplace, at home, whichever environment you find yourself? How important or what role does the support system play when it comes to managing mental health or stress?
We're all products of influence. Our environment shapes us. I'll take that again. We're all products of influence, and our environment shapes us. And Chioma said it that she's got it, and your friends and associates, they eventually determine who you'll become, what your life experiences will be. I say that show me your friends and your networks, and I would accurately predict your future. Now, you are sum total of your thoughts and your emotions, because your thoughts influence your emotions influence your decisions influence your actions. And so if you hang around the wrong kind of people, you work in the wrong office that project the wrong values and project the wrong ideology and beliefs, they will shape you, because you are a sum total of your values and your beliefs. Your values and your beliefs influence your emotions. And then there's absolutely no way you can make a decision outside of your emotions, because your emotions, they feed your decisions. And there's no way you can take action without a decision. And so your sociology, right, infects and affects you. And it's the people in your sociology or your environment, right, and the things that you hear and the things that you see and the things that you experience out there. And so it is very, very key for you to work in the right place. It is very, very key for you to associate with the right people. Now, how do you identify the right place and how do you identify the right people? The first thing that you need to do is you need to have a life vision and a life mission and a life purpose. Chioma has said it, that her life mission and her purpose here is to bring joy and happiness to people. And how does she do it? She uses the instrumentality of comedy. Now, she's living her life intentionally. And so everything she surrounds herself with will be to develop her creativity, will be people that will add value to her and help bring out positivity in her, and for her to see creativity and jokes in everything, or laughter and joy and happiness in everything. And so it is also important for each and every one of us to begin to live our lives that way, because you know what? You have to be intentional about your living. And COVID-19, the biggest blessing that COVID-19 brings is the blessing of reflection. There is nobody in this season that haven't sat down to reflect on their life and be grateful and thankful that they are alive. I want to challenge you to go deeper. Don't just be thankful that you are alive. Ask yourself, why am I still alive? Why was I born in Nigeria, in Congo, in Kenya, in South Africa? Why am I still alive at such a time as this? Who is the person that I'd love to solve their problems, and what kind of problems would I love to solve? And what is it that I do that gives me happiness and fulfillment? You know, Chi Girl talked about her, you know, the fact that she does it effortlessly. It is because she has identified that that is her strength and her passion. She learns language easily. What do you learn easily? What do you do easily? Everybody has a natural ability and a gift and a talent. But oftentimes, many of us despise our own talent. So many people want to be like Chi Girl. Many people want to be like Wizkid. Many people want to be like actresses and musicians. No, maybe your gift is to think. Do you know that thinking is a powerful gift? Do you know that writing is a powerful gift?
I don't think
so. What is that natural gift that you were born with? Because that gift makes you fulfill your purpose without struggle. Now, Chioma is right brain, right? She's creative. That's why everything that she tries to do with her right brain will be a walk in the park for her. So thinkers are left brain people. So she does languages, she creates voices, she creates characters. You know, she is a right brain person. It's a no-brainer. So what is your natural skill? What are you passionate about? What are your gifts? Don't despise them. Accept them and develop them. And that's what she's done. She's self-taught. She taught herself Spanish. She's teaching herself Mandarin and Portuguese. It is because it's her natural habitat. Find your natural habitat. There's such a place as your natural habitat. Let me end by making this statement. Tiger Woods, as we speak today, is the greatest golf player. And we know that golf is a ball sport. If he begins to think that he can take that skill to the football pitch, because soccer is a ball sport, he will be disgracing himself. Michael Jordan tried it. He left basketball and went to play baseball for a year, but he didn't succeed in it. He was also a golf player. He didn't rise to the zenith of golf. He was a master of basketball. What is your natural habitat, and where are you a master of? Find it. This COVID-19 gives you the opportunity to pause and stop and interrogate yourself. And if you cannot do it by yourself, right? We're here to help you interrogate yourself, run your diagnosis, and help you find the reason why you are here, so that you can become everything that you were born to be. Everybody was born great, but not everybody becomes great. That is because not everybody maximizes their full potential from within. As you are within, that is how you manifest without.
Wow. I mean, let's practically look at somebody with who is actually depressed. You talked about the fact that it has to be like a month and over before you can actually confirm. Definitely confirms the chronic nature of it. Now, I want us to look at it because I'm asking a question from Mariam Ibrahim. Mariam is asking that what kind of life changes could help someone who is depressed? So we want both you, Lanre, and Chioma to suggest some practical lifestyle changes that could ease anybody who is actually depressed. So Chioma, you may go first.
I think I have found, because I've been on this journey of maybe fitness and just trying to be stronger, I have found that channeling something to get me going, like exercising in the morning, like first thing when I get out of bed, do my 20 minutes. I work out for only 20 minutes 3 times a week. That's the goal. If I work out a little more than 20 minutes, I've tried. So I think one of those things is finding, if you put yourself on a schedule, for example, if you know that you're waking up at 9 o'clock or whatever, from 9 to 10, what are you doing from 10 to 11? So every single minute of your day is sort of accounted for, put towards something productive. So for me, it could be from working out, I go to my languages. From there, I do my 3 languages and 4 languages, that's like 4 hours or 5 hours of my day gone. Then watch some TV, and I only watch stuff that's going to make me happy or I laugh. And after that, I chill, I rest. And then, so you have to just, I think, using your time wisely wisely. Just use your time wisely. It helps. Just getting your mind focused. It helps.
All right. So for me, it's going to be a statement that I coined. I call it boost your dose of dose. Let me take that again. I call it boost your dose of dose. And what are we talking about? We're talking about on a daily basis, how do you boost your dose of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin? So Kwesi, you talked about laughter. Laughter is one critical lifestyle. Smiling and laughing is one critical exercise that you must do on a daily basis because it boosts your dose of endorphin. Now, the reason why a lot of people are depressed, a lot of people are worried, a lot of people are sad is because their dopamine level has dropped, their oxytocin level has dropped, their serotonin level has dropped, their endorphin levels have dropped. So there are 50 practical things that you can do on a daily basis or on a weekly basis to ensure that you have the right dosage of dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And I'm going to share a few. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give the conveners of this seminar the link to where you will get the entire 50 exercises. But the first thing that you want to do is you want to eat foods that are rich in tyrosine on a weekly basis. That is, almonds must be in your diet. Bananas must be in your diet. Avocados must be in your diet. Eggs must be in your diet. Beans, fish, and chicken on a weekly basis. You must, as Chioma said, exercise regularly. You must practice positive meditation. Now, let me emphasize that. Positive meditation. It is very, very important. Another thing that you must do is you must have enough sleep. Enough sleep is great medicine. A lot of people don't get enough sleep. I don't know where many people are hearing and say that, yeah, if you do 4 hours or 5 hours of sleep, is good enough for you. If you can sleep 7 hours, 8 hours, have good sleep. But if you are working hard and you have to deliver on a task, set that timeline to finish that project and then find time to sleep. Sleep is good medicine. Now, music. Now, I want to emphasize good soul music. Soul music. Soul music. Music that feeds your soul. It is very, very important. Also, being generous, being kind, helping the less privileged releases oxytocin into your system. And also, when you eat spicy foods releases endorphins because your body receives it and interprets pepper or spice as pain. And when you have pain in your body releases more endorphins. And so the more endorphins that you have in your system, the less pain you feel, even emotional pain. The reason why many people that are depressed and sad and unhappy feel emotional pain is because their level of endorphin has dropped. And so remember this and never forget it. On a daily and a weekly basis, boost your dose of dose. Like I promised, I'm going to send the link to the conveners of WenA, and they're going to share with you so that you can get that done. The second thing that I want to talk about is stress. Remember that I said that many diseases, 95% of diseases caused by stress. Stress is at the height of a lot of diseases. And so another thing that I've done is I've created a stress test so that we can identify your stressors and your level of stress. Remember, the McKinsey report says that about 53% of people were feeling averagely stressed, and about 43% of people were feeling highly stressed. So stress is one great factor that drops your dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. It's not just good enough for you to know that you're stressed. You've got to know what your stressors are. Do about those stressors. So I'm going to send the second thing I'm going to send to the conveners of WenA is I'm going to test. So the stress test, you'll be able to share results. So I will share my email address so that you can send me your results and then we can take it forward from there.
Wow. That's so kind of you, Lanre. Thank you. much. I mean, I'm also interested in taking the stress test and also by all the stresses at the moment, so we deal with it perfectly. Now, Chioma, we'll take your final words before you wrap up. We'll just take your final words before you sign off.
For me, I think I always like to leave every gathering that I am. I like to leave with a very positive note, a very positive note, and with positive words to live by. I've come up with some acronyms that help me through my life. One of them is BAE. You are beautiful, you are adequate, you are enough. You are bae. So when people say, oh, I have my bae, because I know you are bae. You are beautiful, you are adequate, you are enough. So you are bae. Remember to be kind. Remember where you're coming from. Remember where you're going. Remember who you are. Remember to always see the best. And whatever you see, you can get. Your dreams are valid. You are valid. You have purpose. And you will live to see your purpose fulfilled. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you so much. I appreciate being here. God bless us all, and this too shall pass. You guys have a very good day.
Like that. This too shall pass, ladies and gentlemen. If you appreciate Chioma and Lanre, let's show some love to them on the chat boards. Please show some love to Chioma and Lanre at this point in time if you do appreciate them. Like they have said, you gotta be bae. We always say, bae, that's my bae. But what it means is that according to Chioma, you should own it. Bae is that you are beautiful, you are adequate, and you are enough. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe most of us are having a great time. I mean, we're having a great time on this platform. This is the WenA e-conference 2020, the 360-degree woman, ladies and gentlemen. At this point in time, let me announce that we have a hashtag to continue the conversation on social media. Our speakers have done really well to address all of the issues. First, talk about the 360-degree woman. This is Mosun Bello Olusola. Thank you very much, Mami, for that wonderful presentation. And then Lanre and Chioma, they've done justice to the topic of managing stress. And ladies and gentlemen, it's very, very important that we take all of these notes. Most importantly, we need to implement them, because whatever we are learning on this platform is going to shape us in terms of our strategic directions for our companies. It's going to shape us in terms of our vision for our work. And it's definitely going to lead us and integrate us into the marketplace perfectly post-COVID. So let's continue the conversation on social media. You can still follow WenA at WenA Initiative on Instagram. You can follow and get most of these videos uploaded, or you can see it there. There's the hashtag WenA360Woman, hashtag WenApreneur, hashtag WenAPartner. Let's get chatting. Let's get engaged on social media, because share with friends, tell them about this initiative. Tell people about this initiative. Talk to them about this conference. Remember, this is the Women Enterprise Alliance conference. It's actually the maiden edition, and we are so proud to have every one of you here. My name is Kwesi Prat Yamwa, and we will continue the conversation. Share with me. I want to engage you. What have you learned so far? I'm looking at the chat box now. I would acknowledge you. I would mention your name. Tell me, what have you learned so far? Let me go through the chat box and see one or two comments that people have already made. Pelumi Oluke is saying, great session. And Comfort Benson is saying, thank you, Lanre and Chioma. I loved your presentation. Igwe Endurance, appreciate you both. More blessings to you. Taiwo Bodam is saying, we appreciate you so much. Thank you very much. Mariam Ibrahim is also appreciated and saying, wow, thank you. Isaac Aliu comments, thanks a lot, Mr. Lanre. That was full of insights. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep the There's some important. He'll share some links where we can take the stress test for free, and then as well as, so you can also engage any of the WenA representatives here, and I'll in due time will introduce them so that you can one-on-one engage them and have access to that. So let's keep talking. Let me go to the comment section, and I see a lot of comments coming in at this time. Igwe is saying, thank you both. Okay, I read Igwe's. So at this point in time, let's continue to, we will have a final session, which is money management secrets. I know most of you at this point in time will be wondering, what are the easy way out? What is the easy way out? What are the secrets to manage my finances, especially during these times when we have all been hit by this pandemic? Everybody has become conscious with respect to spending. Everybody's become conscious when it comes to where to invest your money. And I know that as entrepreneurs, it's critical that we have this conversation so that it will help you prioritize where you allocate your funds. Do you allocate it to build capacity? Would you allocate your funding to marketing? Would you allocate your funding to customer appreciation? Where do you manage your finances? Are you interested in branding? Are you interested in actually taking your company to the next level? It is all about prioritizing and know where to invest the little funds that you have post-COVID. And I know that it is something of great interest to every one of you. So please stay glued to it, to the screen, to your device, whichever device you are using. Remember that we are here to support you. We are here to expose you to some nuggets, business ideas. We are here to expose you to a lot of things. And this is the Women Enterprise Alliance bringing you the WenA conference. So I still want to know what you're thinking. Okay, so let me know what you've learned. So Benson is, I learned a new thing today, the hunker down theory. Oh yes, I also did learn about the hunker down theory. Danjuma Isuga mentions that. Thanks for the deep insight. We appreciate you too, Danjuma. And Igwe says, I learned that 95% of diseases is caused by stress. Yes, I agree. 95% of the disease is caused by stress. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, we are going to our exhibition booth. There are some strategic partners who have been a part of this since day one. And let me acknowledge them. VC4A, thank you so much for your partnership and your belief in empowering women. Enterprise Development Center, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Kaduna Business School, thank you so much for being a part. Eguafin Microfinance Bank, we're truly appreciative that you have supported this through and through. So ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, we are getting ready to go to the expo. So go to the left section. There's an icon labeled expo. So basically, you have the opportunity to engage each of these partners who are on board with us. Remember, we will be back. We will be back to have our final session before we wrap up for the day. So we are not leaving. We are returning to this platform. So there's a section where you see Expo. So you can log into the Expo, and then you would have time to engage each of these strategic partners. Ask all of your questions. Also use the opportunity to network. And definitely, we will meet up in 5 minutes. So we're giving you 5 minutes to interact with our partners in the expo segment. So go to the left section of your screen. There's an expo. Log in. Let's have a great time. Thank you very much. My name is